Have you ever looked up at the moon and wondered what it would be like to stand there? To look back at our own planet, a bright blue marble suspended in the vast, silent darkness of space? Just over 50 years ago, humanity turned that dream into a reality. This is the story of Apollo 11, a journey that changed our world forever. Our story begins not in the vacuum of space, but right here on Earth, in a decade of intense competition and ambition. The Cold War was at its peak, and the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union was the ultimate contest of technological and ideological might. After President John F. Kennedy's bold declaration in 1961 to land a man on the moon and return him safely to the Earth, before the decade was out, NASA embarked on the most audacious project in human history, the Apollo program. The pressure was immense. The risks were astronomical. The program involved over 400,000 scientists, engineers, and technicians, all working towards a single, monumental goal. At the heart of this mission were three men: Commander Neil Armstrong, a quiet and focused former test pilot; lunar module pilot Buzz Aldrin, a brilliant engineer with a doctorate from MIT; and command module pilot Michael Collins, the man who would journey all the way to the moon but never set foot on its surface. On the morning of July 16, 1969, at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the world held its breath. The colossal Saturn V rocket, the most powerful machine ever built, stood ready. Inside the tiny command module at its very tip sat Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins. At 9:32 a.m., with a thunderous roar that shook the very ground, the Saturn V ignited. It was a controlled explosion of immense power, lifting the 300-ton rocket skyward, pushing our three explorers against their seats as they began their quarter-million-mile journey. For 3 days, they traveled through the void. Inside their cramped capsule, named Columbia, they were a tiny speck of life in an endless sea of black. Michael Collins later described the view of Earth shrinking behind them, saying, "I really believe that a flying saucer could have come up alongside of us, and I would have been bloss about it." Their focus was singular, the moon. As they approached their destination, the real test began. Armstrong and Aldrin moved from Columbia into the lunar module, a fragile-looking craft named Eagle. Collins remained in orbit, a solitary guardian circling the moon. He would be the most isolated human being in history, his only connection to his crewmates and all of humanity, a crackling radio signal. The Eagle's descent to the lunar surface was one of the most nail-biting moments in history. As Armstrong and Aldrin navigated towards their landing site, the Sea of Tranquility, alarms started blaring inside the cockpit. The guidance computer was overloaded. With ice in his veins, Armstrong took manual control of the lander. Peering through the small triangular window, he saw their target was a field of sharp rocks and craters, not the smooth plane they had expected. With fuel running dangerously low just seconds away from the point of no return, Armstrong expertly steered the Eagle past the boulders. Back in Houston, mission control was silent, their hearts in their throats. Finally, a calm voice crackled through the speakers, traveling across 240,000 miles of space. "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed." The relief in mission control was explosive. Humanity had arrived. After hours of checks, the moment the world had been waiting for was here. The hatch of the Eagle opened. Neil Armstrong, clad in his bulky white spacesuit, carefully made his way down the ladder. As his boot touched the fine, powdery lunar dust, he uttered the immortal words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." For the first time ever, a human being was standing on another world. Shortly after, Buzz Aldrin joined him, and his first words were a perfect, simple description of the scene: magnificent desolation. They planted the American flag, a symbol of national achievement, but the moment felt bigger than any one country. They collected rock samples, conducted experiments, and bounced around in the low lunar gravity, leaving the first human footprints on the moon's ancient surface. All the while, Michael Collins orbited above, a vital link in their return journey. For 48 minutes on each orbit, as he passed behind the far side of the moon, he was completely alone, with no radio contact with Earth or his crew. He later wrote that he didn't feel lonely, but rather a sense of awe and connection to the grand cosmic scheme. After just over 2 hours on the surface, Armstrong and Aldrin climbed back into the Eagle. Their mission was only half complete. They had to launch from the moon, rendezvous and dock with Collins in the Columbia, and then make the long, fiery journey back to Earth. Each step was fraught with danger, but their training and the incredible work of the team on the ground saw them through. On July 24, the Columbia splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, its mission a spectacular success. The dream had been realized. The world celebrated as one. The Apollo 11 mission wasn't just a technological triumph. It was a profound moment for humanity. It showed us what we could achieve when we aim for the stars, when we combine courage, ingenuity, and an unbreakable spirit of exploration. It reminded us that our tiny, fragile planet is a precious home in a vast, awe-inspiring universe. The footprints they left in the dust will remain for millennia, a timeless testament to that giant leap for all mankind. Thanks so much for joining us on this incredible journey back in time. If you were inspired by this story of human achievement, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the moments that defined our history. We'll see you in the next one.